Welcome everybody to Magnetic Monday, the time of the day where I will sit down and do an intuitive card for the group collective. So this is gone live on our private Facebook group, and it will also be available on my YouTube channel, which is just something new I've started, and it would be great if you could like, subscribe, and share if you feel it would benefit anyone in your network. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Joan McEwen, and today I'm reading from the Rose Oracle cards. And let's see what's going to come up for today. So while I'm shuffling and clearing the cards, if you're on live, please drop comments in, say hello, ask any questions that you may have. And also, if you come on in replay, still leave your questions, your comments, and I will circle back to you when later on. So hopefully you can hear me okay. It's saying at my end that the volume is fine, but if you've got any problems with the audio, please let me know. So what I'm getting the sense of today is obviously we've got lots of excitement, lots of busyness coming up to the end of the year, and it's always a time of reflection on how our years went and what we've achieved, what we've done really well, and perhaps areas that we haven't done so well. So I get a sense that we're going to have a look at that today and get some guidance on that. So the first card that's come out is the Thorn. So the message here is about protection, boundaries, and clear communication. And as I feel into that, if I can put it there, might be easier for you to see. So feeling into that, and there's a reminder there about protection and boundaries, and I'm getting a sense the message coming through is about over this festive period is probably a time where we probably drink more, we're socializing more, we're in the company of lots of people, probably a lot of people that we normally don't socialize with. And there's a reminder there about remember your protection, remember to stay grounded and and we're talking about energetic boundaries. Have your energetic boundaries nice and crisp and clear, because you want to be aware of the energy that's around you, because we're all in this group, we're all frequency keepers. So we help to support the energy in the community that we're in. But there's also a reminder that you want to feel that energy coming through, but you want to acknowledge it excuse me, and then just let it go through so that you can support in whatever way is appropriate at that moment in time. Because the one thing that we don't want to do is allow that heavier, denser energy to stick to us, because when we are in the company of people with lower energies than us and not as clear as us, then it tends to want to stick and feed off us in a sense. So it's about the crisper and the clearer and the sharper we keep our energy, other people's energy will just pass on through, and we can take what messages and information and knowledge that we want to from that message that we've received. Clear communication. It's easy to get caught up in not speaking your truth. And this year has been a lot around us stepping up, stepping forward, working on that throat chakra, and really getting clear with what it is that what our message is, what it is that we want to say, what it is that we want to share with our community, with our family, with our tribe. And it's about reminding ourselves that there's still more work to be done in this throat chakra. And the more that we can meditate, the more that we can clear this area, the more expansive it's going to become. And as we go into the ascension, so we're, you know, as humans, we're getting the opportunity to ascend from this 3D physical life as a physical human that we've been living in to move into the fifth dimensional realm, which is very much about becoming more aware, having a really consciously creating and having that increased awareness so that we can live in a higher frequency, so that we can utilize our gifts and share our message, our knowledge, our skills in a much more effective way for not only ourselves but for others as well. So it's about keeping that throat channel clear by doing our work around it, by doing our daily self-care practices. And I'm just hearing a message there. I didn't mention at the beginning that this reading is for the next week, the next 7 days, and it's from today, which is Monday the 12th, right through to Sunday the 18th of December. So just in case you're wondering what I'm reading for, so it's this week up until the 18th of December. Sometimes the thoughts come into my head so quickly that if I'm not paying 100% attention, I tend to forget some things. So the next card that's come through is open. Okay, so the message here is say yes, expand through the extremes and trust life. So I'm reminded here to remind you about our opportunities that come for us, that we're faced with our potential possibility. And there's a reminder there to feel the fear and do it anyway. And I know I talk about this a lot because the more we know that the more extremes that we experience in our day-to-day life, the more it challenges us. But that is the period of time where we get extraordinary growth. We really, almost catapult into our next level of being when we get these extremes. So it might be extreme highs and extreme lows. But the reason that they come to us is because we're capable of managing it and that we can move through it as long as we stay grounded, stay focused, and stay in our lane and know what our uniqueness is, know what our message is, know what our purpose is, and to keep on that path. Because the message that I'm saying is, trust these extremes because it's easy to default into the 3D energy, the 3D matrix, which is all around fear, it's all about anxiety. It's all about lack of trust, lack of awareness, giving away our power. It's all those lower energy emotions that we default back to because that's the place of our comfort. That's where we're comfortable because we know that we were birthed into this 3D matrix reality, and so were our ancestors as well. So for generations, we've been birthed into this 3D reality. And now our conscious awareness is such that we're getting the opportunity to move into the fifth dimensional conscious awareness realm, this area of energy and emotion, because emotions are energy in motion. So the more that we move into this, the more that we can experience these extremes of highs and lows, but embrace it with joy, with fun, with awareness, with empathy, with using our integrity, setting our boundaries, getting clear on our message, And that's going to help us open and expand our throat chakra more. It's going to allow us to stand more in our truth, get really clear on what we want, because much as we're looking at reflecting on this year of 2022, we're also preparing for next year, 2023. So I'm going to talk a bit more about that at the end. But the reminder there is to trust and remember that the universe is only going to present to you what you're capable of taking on, what you're capable of experiencing. And remember, everything is in perfect timing, it's all divine timing. And our challenge is to step up to it, to embrace the challenges, the changes, the opportunities, feel into them, and allow ourselves, tap into your intuition this week and be guided by what the messages are coming through, and try and keep that ego mind out, because when we're in ego, we're very much in the third dimensional space. And when we allow ourselves out of that ego, then we start to tap into our inner wisdom, our inner knowledge, and then we can move forward. We're actually operating out of a higher frequency, which gives us more confidence, gives us more clarity. So we're really being encouraged this week to really step out there and own our uniqueness, own our boundaries. And this card, Healing the Mother Line. Now, in this group, we've pulled this card several times over the last few months. And the message is about healing ancestral work in the mother line and growing up. And for me, I'm hearing that this year is about becoming of age. It's about doing all that clearing work, all that healing work with the female ancestral line, as a lot of the messages, the patterns, the beliefs that we've had that have been passed down on our female side for many generations is no longer aligned, is no longer serving us. And it feels like coming to the end of this week, the end of this year, it's about letting all of that go so that next year, yes, there'll be different layers and levels that we'll want to address, but it's kind of like we're graduating this year with a new sense of being. Um, we've replaced a lot of the old patterns and a lot of the old beliefs that we've carried for years, for generations, for lifetimes, and all the work that we've done this year, we've started to let go of them and replace them with new patterns, with new beliefs. So this week it feels like we're getting an opportunity to go, what patterns do I want to create for 2023? Is it around abundance? Is it around prosperity? Is it around having joy? Is it about going back to the basics and really just indulging in the basics in life and looking at the simplicity and being grateful and practicing kindness, because we know that when we're in that space, gratitude and kindness are very much emotions of the fifth dimensional realm. And when we're in these emotions, then the world of potential and possibility and opportunities opens up for us and allows us to look at life, look at our world differently, and also to be able to support others as well. So let's see if there's another card that wants to come. The codes of the seeds. And the message here is the blueprint is within you, and take the next step. And so here I'm hearing that your soul blueprint, for many have struggled with this concept this year, and that there's a validation that it's the remembering, it's the ancient remembrance of previous lifetimes of when you were in Lemuria, when you were in Atlanta, in Egypt, in Egyptian times with the Egyptians. And it's about the connection between all the ley lines across the world, no matter where you were. And it's about these seeds were planted many eons ago. And this year has been about preparing you, preparing that foundation of awakening and growing these seeds. And it feels like they're almost coming to fruition. And the next step is to nurture them more. So it's like watering your plants, it's about nurturing what it is inside you. So as you start to prepare your new patterns and give them an awareness, give them a place in your 2023 of what does your new patterns look like, because these seeds have been activated and it will bring you your remembrance of when you were in these ancient times and the role that you played and the wisdom that you had, that you shared, whether you were a healer, whether you were a teacher, whether you were a a speaker, whether you were a preacher, whatever it was, the awakening of these skills, of this knowledge, this wisdom is going to be part of your new patterns, your new beliefs for next year. So super exciting. And because there was a reminder there of taking the next steps, I'm just going to pull one more card, which is my intention here is asking for what is the key next step for this week that's going to help to guide you through your week, to realize your potential, to do your reflection, to prepare for 2023 with your new patterns, with your new programming, because it's all up to you to create the new patterns of your life as you align to your soul blueprint, as you claim your genius, your uniqueness, and claim that the life that you actually agreed to have prior to coming into this life. So I'm just waiting on this card to pop up for us. So the next step for this week is Mother Rose. And the message is returning to each other, compassion and humanity. And that's very timely this time of year. We know that around the world, in our communities, there are many people who are much less fortunate than us. And it's about remembering that there's always someone that we can help, whether it's through our words, whether it's through our presence, whether it's gifting someone something that they really need that's going to help to support them get through the week, get through the rest of the year. And it's about looking at humanity through the lens of we're all interconnected, we're all coming back. And the focus is certainly this week is very much around gratitude, around humanity, on doing things that's going to help heal the planet and to help heal all of us in it as we move forward, because we're moving out into 2023, into our ascension, into our fifth dimensional realm, where we are doing life being consciously aware, which is going to be super exciting. So what I wanted to talk about just before we finish up is in the beginning of January, I've been guided to run a 5-day healing intensive workshop. So it's going to run over 5 days. It's going to be live. It's going to be 1 hour a day, no more. And you can either register live or replay for it. And I've still got to create the landing page because it just was downloaded to me this morning. So it's still very new, but I'm excited for it. And once I create the landing page, I'll post it in the Facebook group. And you can either attend live or replay, and all sessions will be recorded. We're going to look at the differences between 3D and 5D awareness, consciousness, and how we can know and identify when we default back into our safety zone, which is the 3D, and when we're in the fifth dimension, and how we can build and support that journey, that progression. We're also going to look at various healings that will come through and activation. So each day there will be a healing, there'll be an activation. Um, you'll be aligned with your chakras, your seven main energy bodies. We're also going to do a bit of work on the soul star and the earth star chakras, which are not part of our seven main chakras, but they're part of our energy body, which helps to integrate our physical and energetic bodies. We're going to spend some time in the 5D realm, so I'll take you into your Akashic records. You'll be able to access your soul blueprint and your highest timeline and get a feel for that energy, and you'll get some tips and tools on how you can support yourself further there. And also any patterns that might still be lingering, that are still hanging on, that have served you and you no longer need them. We'll look at shedding them, making space for new awareness, new clarity, so that you become really clear about what 2023 is all about for you and set you up in the possible way. So I'm super excited to share that, and it will probably be around the 9th of January, but I still need to confirm those dates. So I hope that's something that you'll be interested, and I will share over the next few days on that. So that's my guidance for this week. Hope you've enjoyed it. Love to hear any comments or questions that you may have, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.